And so here we are. We're just going to hold this up. It's at the base of the skull. And that's not too bad. It's a little tight. I think this area of the head is always tight because our head is kind of heavy, actually. You know, on this little neck, and then you have 10 or 12 pounds of head. So when you're thinking about losing weight, think about what kind of weight you want to lose, because if you want to lose 10 pounds, you could just take your head off and you'd lose 10 pounds. So you want to be sure that you know what kind of tissue you're going to be losing if you're going into the weight loss programs. You don't want to lose muscle. It weighs more than the adipose tissue, so there's things to consider when you're doing things like that. Now I'm just moving to make sure that there is free flow of fluid. I'm just pumping a little bit of lymph down the neck because that was so tight behind there. There's a lot of lymph nodes at the base of the skull as well. So that tension could make it a little bit congested. And Angie did mention that she had a little bit of a headache the other day, which really could be anything, but we might as well check slide it underneath her upper back, where the palm of my hand right here is right at the carpal tunnel area, is about C7, C6, and then I'm just going to go across the clavicles. So we're going to see what's going to go on here. She's very deep in there, so I would ask her just like, Angie, where are you at? Are you somewhere? What do you feel?
I mean, I'm relaxed, but today is a no going to sleep day. And it feels like there's a battle. Sometimes my brain tries to get involved and think things through, but
is there some kind of emotion that comes up in that brain fight? In the figuring things out, can you lower that frequency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you bring your thoughts down to where you're feeling my hands?
I think that's the battle, is bringing it out of my head, like you were saying. It might be like a feeling of stuck.
Feeling of stuck. Is there some kind of an emotion around that feeling of stuck? Usually the first thing that pops in your head.
I'd say hopeless came in.
Helpless.
Hopeless.
Hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
So what does hopeless look like? Does it have a shape, a size, and a texture?
Yeah, it looks kind of gentle, like a sheet that's just gently laid on something. It's white, but it's pervasive. It looks like it's Um, it looks like it's a friendly guy, but it's not really. He's just oozing into my olive life.
So he's covering you, kind of? Is he covering you?
No, but he's just kind of everywhere. He thinks that hope is not a good thing. And he thinks that hopeless is more the way.
Do you agree with that?
Well, he's so big, he's kind of hard to ignore.
Can you find the eyes? His eyes?
No, not really. Let's see. I could ask.
Yeah, look around and see if you can find his eyes.
I can see some eyes.
Can you look into those eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, stare into those eyes and then you can ask him why he's there. What's his purpose?
He's just trying to live.
He's trying to live.
Yeah.
So how can he live in hopelessness?
I think he just feels so alone he doesn't know any other way. Looks like.
Is he something that's attached to you? Or has he made himself a part of you?
Doesn't seem like he's attached, but it's almost like he tries to stay in front of me all the time, floating in the air a little bit, like it's like 6 feet social distance away, but he just kind of always wants to be seen because even if the wind's blowing, the edge of the sheet will move and it'll get in my periphery. Like he'll just be close to get in the periphery if he's not in front.
He's always hopeless, and that's the way he sees the world.
Yeah, he's very alone.
But why is he living with you? Why did he decide to live with you? Did you invite him?
I don't know. I think he knows that I can love all things or something. I don't know.
Does hopelessness have something to do with love? Or is it two different things?
It can be related or different. Yeah.
How can it be related?
Well, when it doesn't feel right, there's it can be related at those times. Like it feels like a lineage. Like there's been something. A deeper chord that I can feel goes through me around that. Something about hopelessness or love. It's on the left side of the body. I don't think it's mine.
Okay, can you see where it came in? What time, going back into your childhood? Can you see a time when he just decided to move in? Or is it even before?
Well, definitely before. It's a really long time.
Okay. Can you go back a little further?
Yeah, I'm already back a few hundred years.
Okay, good. So what does things look like back there? What's your situation back then, a few hundred
You're
years
not allowed to talk near as much, but your throat is more cut off. I can feel it at the bottom of my throat.
That you couldn't talk much?
No, you're not allowed. You're choked.
So what is it that you were wanting to say?
Well, First off, I just wanted to be safe.
Safe from the environment that you're in?
Yeah, and the people. Yeah.
Was it wartime?
No, just in the household.
Okay. So you didn't feel safe in your household? Your house?
No, I wasn't.
Is that the first time you feel hopeless? Yeah?
I don't know. There was a strong start there. I could bring it to this life too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you could. It's good that you can. So, either back then or here, either way, can you look into those eyes and ask it what its whole purpose to be there is? For why he's hanging around you? He thinks that you need him. Do you?
You know, I think I've agreed to it. That I felt that lonely, that hopeless was my best friend.
Okay.
That seems, child related.
Was that a way for you to escape from certain things? To go into that feeling of with hopeless and kind of not have to do what you maybe wanted to do?
I didn't have any wants. They weren't even there.
You had no wants?
No. They were cut.
Did you ever dream things that you wanted? Create things?
When I was young like that, where this is,
Wherever you are, yeah.
I dreamed. I don't know if it's a dream, but I just made friends with the trees and all the plants and rocks. I wanted to have conversations. I dreamed of having conversations that were deep as a little girl.
Conversations with the environment or with people?
Well, the environment's the only one that talked to me in a way that was reciprocal. I wanted a conversation with people about pain and war and suffering and humanity and kindness. And but they couldn't do it anywhere. In the church, in the family, nowhere. The school, nowhere.
And that's where hopeless slipped in?
Well, hopeless stayed with me the whole time, so he really actually was a friend.
Do you still want him to be your friend?
Well, I'm not sure he's that clean now. I mean, I feel for him, but I think something could be off about it. So I'm willing to be friends with him, but there's an awful sadness in his eyes that would really rather engulf him and see if I can help us both feel more whole.
But what does hopeless represent for you? Is it worth being a friend of?
In some ways, maybe so.
How?
He helps me to divinely love all people. if I see their hopelessness too, he's good that way, I think. But I don't think he should lead the show.
No, you don't think he should lead the show?
Yeah, I don't think he should be out in front of me all the time or showing himself to me all the time. I don't think he should kind of have that much of a center.
Is that his nature, to have that kind of a center of everything?
He's gentle, but he's just present, like a sheet flowing in the wind. You can just see the little edges of him.
So when you see those edges of him, does that put you back into a pattern, a wavelength?
Yeah, I think so.
And how does that wavelength feel?
When the wavelength is not clean or it's off, then it doesn't feel good. It's sad and kind of brings in some other, like helpless and some more lesses, the less family.
So has that been the pattern that he always does, that hopeless always does?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why would you want him? Why would you want to make friends with a personality like that?
Well, I just feel like I can love all things, and I just know he's lost, I guess.
Do you think you can change him?
It feels like I could take him inside. It's like I could take him inside, and then he wouldn't have to have those eyes. He wouldn't have to have that presence. He could finally, like, join something, like Divine Mother. I don't know, but he could start to, like, be transcendent. Like I could see through it. I don't know if that's possible, but
Is that your responsibility?
well, you know, there is a piece of that, the part that doesn't feel clean. The unclean part does feel like a responsibility. The clean part feels like an inner strength and divine love. But
Can you love something at a distance and not hate it, but just know that it's not something you want close? Just because it's not within your desire to help and it's got to help itself doesn't mean that you hate it. Or can you not separate that?
I could separate. Yeah, I could separate.
So how does that feel, to separate and have him at a distance but not influencing you, or not feeling that you have to be responsible for his changing his ways?
Well, I mean, just you saying that, I went through a few different things. At first, it felt fine and okay, and then there was a little bit of, it felt tenuous, like uh-oh, we have to, let's try this out, but we're going to have to separate a little bit and see how we do without each other.
Is there another emotion that comes up of why you don't want to let go of hopelessness?
Well, I want to let go of hopelessness, but But this creature, the way he presents himself, is kind of gentle hopelessness. So is there another reason that I don't want to let go? Is that what you said?
Yeah, is there another emotion that comes up that is holding hopelessness here? Because hopelessness will always be hopelessness. You can be friends and all that, but hopelessness will always have that particular energy and vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll either have to separate and love it at a distance and understand it at a distance, or embrace it, where it'll bring your vibratory things into hopelessnesses, into their space.
And the question in there is
Can you separate?
Yeah, I'm willing to separate.
And is there another emotion in there that's holding that in? Another emotion that's hidden a little bit more, that is going to be giving you a reason not to really separate, just to kind of make reasons for why you've got to be responsible for hopelessness, or that you prefer to have hopelessness be in your sphere of existence.
Well, I mean, like you said, the first thing that came to my mind was that aloneness came in there. I think that's a feeling. I don't know that I'm. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a. It's like I have access to profound aloneness.
Access to profound aloneness.
Yeah. And that feels like a feeling that would want to hold on to hopelessness. If that were, if that was activated in me, or it might be in me, I don't know. I don't live in it. It doesn't seem like all the time, but.
Well, would a divine, what did you say there? Divine, not
Love.
Love, was it love or loneliness that you said earlier? Was it a divine loneliness or divine love?
Oh, I think it's a divine love.
Okay, I misheard you. Okay, so with having the divine love, can you still separate and just see hopelessness for what it is, but realize
Yes,
it's not something that it's not going to allow you to become the excellent, beautiful, masterful human?
Okay.
Can you see how hopelessness can prevent that from happening?
Yes. Yeah.
And do you think once hopeless is gone that you will see a deepening of yourself, of what you're doing, dreaming new dreams and taking risks in new ideas?
Yes, definitely. It feels more spacious. And it wasn't mean. I didn't have to be mean to do it.
No.
I don't want to be mean like that.
No, we don't want meanness at all. But we have to draw our boundaries.
Yeah, I think hopeless knows I don't have boundaries with it very good.
So can you look in the eyes and thank hopeless for showing you all this, and then ask it to just kind of fly away with its sheet-like corners and flutter off into the sunset?
I can think it. It does seem like it was a good friend for a while. Yes, I can send it.
Okay, just let him know, just say it to him and be polite, because he's gentle, but he's just not the right energy.
Yeah, I told him it was an experiment we were going to try out, and he can go his ways.
Just a little personal note, it was a big discovery for me to understand that what feels like a gift of seeing beauty in everything, like a divine love, I did not ever see it prior to being a challenge of mine, which was boundaries and being grounded. How when those two merge, that the divine love can make it more challenging to make a boundary. And that's something that I'll be looking at a little bit more, because that was a real beautiful thing for me to see.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.